It's okay. The question is, you know, you've had a lot of influence, and directors have a lot of influence. Everybody does influence on a piece. What was your intention when you made and left the unicorn in Blade Runner? Well, una cosa muy, muy distinta que pasó en ese momento. Eso fue algo muy interesante. And this is probably maybe the first time we ever really talked about it in public. When I made the chicken, okay, that was the very first origami that I made. And I put it down in the scene because I couldn't figure out exactly what to do when Ridley said, you walk in and then you go sit down over there in the back. And I said, oh my God, you know, why not I just like bring him in and then turn around and leave? Why do you need another person in the room when Harrison's character, you know, Decker, is talking to the chief? But I am talking. Why should I stay here? And I said, this is really difficult because, like, if I'm sitting here like this, and the scenes, say we're over there where these people are located, I'm sitting here like this, and the camera's on them, but you can see me in the background, and I don't move, I draw a hell of a lot of attention. You might say, well, no, I mean, I won't look at you. That isn't how it works. Because when you don't move, it's very, very much a false note. Something incredibly difficult. People just don't sit there like a tree. You see what happens. What the hell's that guy doing? Why is he just sitting there? Then, compound that by having me move. Now I'm upstaging. I'm pulling attention. So either way, you're stuck inside of how do you sit in a room without bringing attention to yourself when you know that the scene has to hold it and you can't really pull away from there. Knowing full well that if you just move a little bit, you're going to be drawing attention. If you don't move, you're going to be drawing attention. So what do? So I sat down and I go, man, you know, this is like the worst possible understanding. And there was a little piece of paper, gum wrapper, you know, juicy fruit gum, kind of, you know, it's got cellophane, it's got white paper on one side, and it's got what do you call that kind of paper? Foil on the other side. So it looks like a piece of metal. And it's just sitting there like that. And I reached over and I got it. And now I had something that I was doing that wasn't broad, but now I was doing something. Okay? And I was just... So if you see the movie, you'll see him back there, and he's doing something, but it's not big, so it doesn't really pull you away. But he's doing something, so he's taking care of himself, and you go, okay, he's doing something. Back to the movie. And so you're inside of the scene, you're watching. At the end of the scene, of course, Decker says, I'm not going to do this, I don't want to do this, I'm retired, it's over, forget it, you know, find somebody else. And I put and I was messing around with the thing, and it started to look like a chicken. And I'm saying, and I said, this is perfect for this scene. My God. And so when it was finished, the scene was finished, I put it down and Ridley, cut. Edward. What was... Bring the camera, please. And they took a picture of the chicken. They shot it. Okay, cut two. I'm with Decker now again, and we're inside looking at, what's the name? James. Oh, God. I'll get it right now. Leon. Thank you. Leon, we're in his room, and he's like going around. And I, of course, I'm just his driver. I'm just supposed to be driving the guy. No wonder. Looking very weird and acting very weird. I'm standing there, and he's walking around looking for every clues and all this stuff. And so I found a matchstick. And I grabbed the matchstick and I opened it. And I started playing with it while he's doing, again, didn't want to upstage him, didn't want to do anything, just leave him alone. Let him do his thing. Now, what was I supposed to be doing? Looking for the, the replicants? No, I'm supposed to be taking care of him. And nobody knows what. But I'm just there, so I'm doing it. And so, of course, the memorable moment comes when I put the stick man down. And the stick man, of course, has a little heart on. Beep. Pepito. And of course, he has a heart on for Leon. His little mind. So I put the little stick man down, and that was it. And of course, Ridley. Bing! So cut to, I finished my part, I finished my thing, and the show, I go to see the movie. And I'm watching the movie, and I'm watching the movie, and I'm watching the movie, and also get to the end, and bingo, there's the unicorn made in origami. I said, wow, I was there. I wasn't, but my character obviously had been, because I read the origamis, and there's an origami of the, unicorn. And of course, if you saw the scene, you realize that the unicorn was and is an understanding of his reoccurring dream. I knew his reoccurring dream. Therefore, it placed him in a position that he hated. Harrison Ford hated the fact that he was a replicant. That's what it meant. It meant that he was a replicant also. And he didn't even know it himself. So that was really, and Harrison said, I never played it. He goes, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to know. And so that one became the big thing. And years later, it only came out in the last 25 years. And 25 years after the fact is when people really started to get into it. And now on the 30th anniversary, this year is the 30th anniversary, but 25, at the 25th anniversary, it became a real important understanding where people finally would have huge battles. No, he wasn't a replicant. No way. Decker's not a replicant, man. He was. He is. And finally, in the final edition, when they released it, I think that Ridley Scott comes out and says it. Point blank. He says, yeah, he was a replicant. So, yes, you're right. I did have an incredible influence on. I didn't make that origami. But thank you for asking. Yes, go ahead.
Hi.